Thank you. Mr. Kline?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here today, for your testimony, for answering the questions, and for your terrific service to our nation. I want to explore, for my brief time here, the issue of access of recruiters to colleges and to high schools. I have a couple of comments and then a question. The laws are different a little bit regarding college and high school. So my first question would be, what is your perception? And it can be any of you. We're at a limited time. Maybe Dr. Gilroy or perhaps General Coleman or General Rochelle could address it. How is access to the colleges working out today? Is it restricting our ability, particularly to recruit highly qualified individuals for the officer corps, for example? And then more pressing concern is access to students in high school. As you know, there's some debate here in Congress, and there are some proposals out there that would restrict access of recruiters to information, and recruiters would only be provided student information when parents give their written consent. So the point is, there are proposals out there. There's some different views. I'd be interested in knowing what your perception is of how it's working now as far as access, and what changes in the law, such as I've just suggested, what that might do. And I'll yield to whoever would like to answer that question.
Congressman Kline, I will begin and then yield to my colleagues as they choose. With regard to the college the climate first, as governed by the Solomon Amendment, clearly there have been some cases in which access has been hindered to some extent or made more difficult than we would like. But typically what happens is that through diplomatic discussions between the services and OSD and the university or college, those differences seem to be eventually straightened out. So we're pleased about that. There is a mechanism in place which governs the discussions between the university leadership and the services and OSD. As you know, Solomon provides for the violators of that law or amendment to become ineligible to receive federal funds. We have two universities that fit that category today. They have not in the past received federal funds, so it probably doesn't matter a whole lot to them, but nonetheless we enforce the law when it is appropriate to do so. With respect to access to high schools, again, we have a mechanism in place under the Hutchinson Amendment, and we have protection under the No Child Left Behind Act, which provides us access. Now, all high schools, 22,000 of them roughly in number, are technically in compliance with that. But some go to lengths to limit access. Some teachers and guidance counselors will hand out opt-out forms to students and request them to fill them out before leaving class, for example. Or some will encourage anti-military groups to set up booths alongside recruiters. These, as I should categorize, are annoyances, to be sure, but typically we can work with the schools, the school districts, the superintendents, and even the school board sometimes to iron out some of these differences. We think that the current law opt-out is very, very important to maintain. We would be very much opposed to any change which would yield to the so-called opt-in arrangement. So that is particularly important to us.
About to run out of time here. Any of the rest of you have anything different or modification to that? The concern would be in the opt-in that you might lose access to a great many students and really have an adverse impact on recruiters. Is that the widely held view there? You can nod or, yeah, okay.
That's certainly my impression, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. Madam Chair, I yield back.